Welcome to the Q&Q edition of the Soccer A to Z. This is the quiz and questions section of the show. The team today are Helen.
Yep.
Robbie.
Hello.
Tubes.
Hi team.
We'll be doing the quiz in a minute. What's right with football? We'll be doing anything but football. But before that, we will do some questions. Helen, have you got some questions for us?
Liam Matthewman says, what's the greatest football kit of all time?
Tough.
It is, because do you go domestic or international? Because there's some classics.
I think we all have to agree it's 70s Brazil.
I'm a big fan of that Palace one that had the diagonal stripe on it.
Yeah, that's good.
That was
I
good.
Big fan of the Juventus kits.
Yeah, the black and white
black
stripes.
and white.
But come on, that 70s Brazil kit, because when it was proper football shirts, you see the sweat come through it, and it was
The blue shorts.
Yeah, and it was made out of that. It was kind of tighter.
Yeah.
Zico and Socrates and all those
That was
players,
lovely.
and that's kind of, I think that was peak, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I think people get clouded, though, because I think the greatest shirts are based on nostalgia and also iconic players wearing them. Because when you think about the England kit where they had the numbers on the front and you with that little collar, and you just go Gaza wearing that.
True. I think that
Italian 90 England shirt was wicked.
Yeah,
I really like that.
I think the Chelsea kit, if we're going club because of the white socks, blue white socks, I think that's pretty special. But then when we muck about with it, like this season, when we got the squirrely stuff all over it, I know it's sort of going to be iconic in the future, but it's like, no, just it's so beautiful, just the plain blue, you know, and that auto windscreen.
I quite like the way that.
Go on.
So I quite like the way that all of a sudden shirts are going a little bit interesting, because they will go back to the classic colours, but
exactly.
like that Tottenham away purple swirly shirt from a couple of seasons ago, when that first came out, I went, oh, that's horrible. No, actually, I really like it.
Yeah, it's good to mess about so that you can come back to the original one, because they've got to come back to what the fans really want, and then all the fans go, this is what we really want. By the way, collars on shirts are really important. I do like just a round neck on the thing. As soon as, when they muck about, do you remember all the laces in the Man United ones and stuff years ago? And we had them, didn't we? Did we have them in a Chelsea kit?
We had it in the red and white one.
Right, yes.
Do you know what I loved a few years back? I don't know why they did it, but Man United played Man City and they both went retro and they wore the old school shirts.
Yeah.
Chelsea, amazing.
Chelsea had one back in the 80s, which was white, and it had like when I had it, it was like a little V-neck, but it had silver like hoops running around it. It was white with silver, and the home kit was blue and hoops, like two different, slightly different shades of blue hoops. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember. Kerry
Dixon, Speedy.
Yeah, I don't remember the away one.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I'll show you a picture actually in a minute, because I've got a picture of me in it. So.
There was a beautiful Liverpool away shirt, mid-90s, kind of a dark greeny quarters.
White.
You don't, apart from Bristol Rovers, you don't get many quarters shirts, do you? That was nice. But I think the first team that ever went with design and pattern, I don't know if you remember, Mexico, 98, they had a whole green shirt with an Aztec on it. The whole eyes and everything, and it was green and black, and that was never seen anything like that before.
I mean, one of my favourite things every season is when one of the papers or one of the magazines or something goes, here's all the team's kit for the season, and you go through from start with, I assume it's Arsenal in the Premier League, you know, A, and you go all the way through and just looking at all the new kits, going like that one, don't like that one, like that one. I love it.
Great on Soccer M, didn't it? When before the World Cup and stuff, we'd be getting all the shirts.
Yeah, we'd be getting all the shirts in. Yeah, definitely. Okay, that's good. Helen, we've got another question.
Chris at Batston says, right, this might be a little bit personal, but does Tim prefer being bald? It doesn't suit everybody, but it suits him.
Oh, that's very kind of him.
Chris thinks it suits you, being bald. Do you like being bald?
No, I really like hair. Do you know what? I don't mind it because you don't have to do anything with it. You know, it's good if you're doing any exercise or anything. You can just, it's really, and I'm used to it, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't do the hair transplant. I would never say never to the hair transplant. Now they can clone hair. Maybe I'd do that as long as they're not having to hurt me too much. But no, I still dream I've got hair. But there is something amazing about if you are losing your hair and you're deciding not to go down the hair transplant route, the stuff. I mean, this is personal, but I ended up putting powder on my hair and everything because it was given to me in TV studios, and I ended up going out once with powder in my hair. I remember talking to a friend, and they said, "What's that brown stuff on you?" And the powder had slipped and was done, and it was falling down my forehead. And I was like, "I can't do this." Have you ever read the Andre Agassi book? I've not read it, but I know the bit where he apparently playing tennis and he's gluing his hair on. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard of something about it.
Yeah, he was like gluing his hair on because that's what happens when you start losing your hair. You're trying to cover it up constantly. And that day you go, no, I'm just going to shave it off.
That must be amazing.
It's such a relief when
I always see, when you ever go to the beach and there's a guy who's got that really hard belly, I think that day where you just go, do you know what? I'm just going to eat whatever. Must be incredible. No like worried about it. Just go,
I'm just going to do it
for about a week until you have health.
That's not such a good idea because it's not good for your health. No, but if you are worrying about it, just one day, just rather than messing about and all those liquids and stuff, just shave it and go for it. Yeah,
I remember doing that powder. I had an interview with Calvin Phillips at Leeds. I think it was just after I had the hair transplant, and it looked like a mess. Some of the hair was growing back. So it was like we're getting little bits, but it was all clumpy. So I bought some of that powder because everyone was like, "It's so good, you just sprinkle it on." Yeah. But I bought the wrong colour. So before the interview, the two cameramen like that, and I was putting it all on, and I just had jet black spots of hair. So Calvin Phillips was walking over, and he was like, "You all right?" I just had all this powder all over my face, and he was like, "You're right." I was like, "Yeah." So I had to go and wash it all off. And you actually watch the interview, you can see.
I think the thing about growing old though is to try and. This is a bit deep for our podcast, but it's acceptance that you're growing old and stuff's going to change, and you got to accept it. And the sooner you accept stuff, the better it is, I think.
Or just get a hair transplant like me.
Or you can get a hair transplant because they're good these days, aren't they? Tubes looks great.
I'm pleased with this.
I think you've got the best hair transplant I've seen.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of them.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah,
some of them can be rascal.
Yeah, but Robbie, the question is how do you know? How do you know that it's the?
Because you always see someone suddenly got loads more hair. Like
you might have met somebody that you didn't know didn't have hair, so they have the best hair transplant because you don't know it.
Okay, the best hair transplant from my personal knowledge.
Thank you, Robbie.
That's all you can do.
Any other questions before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, this one, I doubt if we've got enough time to cover all of this, but the short chef says, any regrets from the Soccer AM days? Would you do things differently if you could go back? I suppose the thing is, it's so hard to say because, and I hate using that term of, it was a different time then, but it was a different time then because we'd be cancelled immediately if we did the stuff that was funny back then now.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it, would we? No, we wouldn't do it. To change the question very slightly, I went to see the guys at Sky and said to them, can we take over the online bit? Because I was obsessed with the internet and I could see it all developing, and I was sort of told that Sky didn't really care that much about digital because we weren't worried, we were a broadcaster, and that was the exciting thing, and I wish I'd hassled them more to actually take that over, because I think at the time there was there was the BBC Football 365 and a few others coming through, and I think we could have challenged it, and I think that we can see now how massive online content is, and I wish we'd gone more down that direction. I wish I'd hassled them more. You're always very good at spotting those sort of things, I think. Like we were the first people, I think, well, the very few things doing video from phones before us. They didn't want us to put it on. They said the broadcast quality wasn't good enough, and I just went, let's just stick it on and see what happens. My theory is... I remember exactly what you said. You said if it's funny enough, it doesn't matter. Because I've quoted that lots of times. I've said in other interviews and podcasts and stuff that you were the first person to put, and they said the quality, and you would have an entire blue screen with a tiny little box in the middle, because if you blew up the footage anymore off the first camera phones, it just pixelated so bad. So people would be watching this tiny little square, and you would say, no, if they can see what's happening and it's funny, it's fine. And then about a month later, You've Been Framed started doing it. Oh, yeah, you've been famous or video camera, wasn't it? We were taking stuff off people's phones and stuff. Yeah, I was like, anyway. So I wish that in answer to the question, I wish we'd spent more time on doing hassling Sky to do our own Soccer AM webpage. I think that would have been absolutely brilliant, and been in charge of all the socials and stuff. I think that would have been great back then. Should we get on with the quiz? Should we have a quiz?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the quiz.
Me up.
Welcome to the Unfair Football Quiz. It is unfair because football is unfair. Before I tell you about the quiz, let's meet our two competitors. First up is Grimsby Town supporter from Grimsby called Steve. Steve is a terminal operator, which sounds very final. And his fun fact is he once did the catwalk with Tim Lovejoy on Soccer AM. Welcome, Steve.
Amazing.
Good lunchtime, everybody. How are we?
Very good, thank you, Steve. How was your experience of doing the catwalk with Tim Lovejoy on Soccer AM?
Oh, it was the only time I felt like a local celebrity for 3 days. It was very good. I enjoyed it immensely.
How was your walk? Were you any good, or were you one of the ones who sort of fumble up? Yeah, you were. You were decent, right?
No, I'd studied for a long time, Tim. So I feel like I've nailed it down.
What was the game at the end of the show you had to kick a ball through? When was it? What were you doing?
Wembley.
And how did you manage to score?
No, I didn't. No, I think we got 5. I think I was a bit of an idiot on the talk round. I think I said we'd get 34, and we obviously only got 5.
How many? Who were the guests on? Did you have good guests that week?
Chris Marshall, David Hay, and James Toserland.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Have you catwalked since?
Yes, I have tubes. Yeah, I got. We went on holiday the same year, a couple of months later to Tenerife, and they had not a drinking game, but an introduction game to everybody, and my mate went up to the host and said, "Oh, he's done it on Soccer AM 2 months ago," so they called me all up. So I had to do it then as well.
Wonderful. What is a terminal operator? Sounds very final to me, terminal. What is a terminal operator?
It's basically working in a big, massive petrol station that brings ships into port, and we connect big pipe work. So your fuel, your petrol, your diesel can go to the refineries and get refined and mined and
That's cool.
shipped out to the petrol stations.
So what's your bit? Do you wear gloves and get your hands dirty and put pipes together?
Yeah, we have to. Well, it's a big hose. There's big, massive hoses that we have to operate with cranes, and there's lances that we operate with hydraulic remote controls and things like that.
This sounds awesome.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot better than it is.
Is it like when you go to work, you're just like playing? You're like, give me the big tractor thing and go for it.
No, we're pretty much told to leave it alone as much as we can, so we don't cause any leaks.
There's the first rule: no smoking. No one allowed to smoke around.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Good luck in the quiz. Let's meet your competitor. Next up is Villa fan from Solihull called Jay. Jay is head of business development for an EPOS company. Jay's fun fact is he used to be a radio presenter, and he DJs at the Isle of Wight Festival. Welcome, Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Tim.
You?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, mate.
Yeah, I'm very good. How you doing? You okay? Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Really good. Pleasure to be here.
Head of business development for an EPOS company. EPOS stands for something electronic point of sale or something. Is that right?
It does, Tim. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Yep.
Woo. Clever Tim Lovejoy. So what do you actually do? What is your job? What do you have to do?
So I head up the sort of sales and marketing teams and client relations, and basically go after new business, but look after our existing clients as well. And it's good. Keeps it interesting. Keeps it varied.
Because I can't resist a trend, I ended up putting myself on Red Note, the new app which is taken over from TikTok. Do you know about this? Because they banned TikTok. All the Americans went to Red Note, which is a Chinese version of TikTok style thing, and I went there and all the Chinese are going, welcome American refugees. But one of the things I was looking at were people, they're showing you their way of life. It's really interesting if you go on there. I'm probably being spied on by the communist government now, but who cares? But one of the things is they're buying with their hands, Jay. So they're going and they're showing you how they can shop by just putting their hand over the thing where you would have the EPOS. How close are we to that in this country?
Well, do you know what? I'm not entirely sure. We've done quite a bit of like AI stuff, like voice recognition for sort of drive-throughs and things like that. But problem is all the different accents and, variants of that makes it, a little bit tricky. But I think we're getting there. We will. It'll be there pretty soon.
I've never done it. If you go to Amazon, can't you just walk in there, put the shopping in your thing, and then walk out, and it bills you later?
Yeah, I think so. We did some of those actually, but there's not as many now, and you just have to be careful with some of the self checkouts and people scanning a telly through as like a melon and things like that. So just make sure that works all right.
A telly as a melon. That is absolutely brilliant. Now tell us about your DJing. You DJ at the Isle of Wight Festival. What sort of tunes are you playing?
Do you know what? I'd love to say I'm a bit of a Calvin Harris, David Guetta, but no, absolutely not. There's a tent there called Electro Love, and there's about 5,000 people. Basically 80s, 90s, all the good stuff, all the party stuff, really, that everyone has a good time to. No one takes themselves too seriously. It's good.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Jay, and say, go on, give us a couple of the tunes that you will play. Dance floor fillers.
Oh, I would say, do you know what, Tim? There's two guaranteed.
Go on.
Robin S. Show Me Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Gala, Freed from Desire. You can't go wrong. They're on the playlist.
Just that song just drives me mad now from being so. It's like every time you put on the TV and watching anything, every sporting event, it's that, isn't it?
Do you know one song that really gets me going every single time I hear it? Really gets me going.
Go on.
Levels from Avicii.
Really?
Yeah. Good tune.
There's something about it. It just gets me juicy. Ready
Wonderful.
to flow.
Okay, are you ready to play this quiz?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. I've got to tell you the laws of the game first, though. The laws of the game this week on the A to Z, our feature letter was Q for Quality Podcast, which is Q for good question and quiz.
Yeah.
That's this week's episode. So all the questions will be about the letter Q. There are 11 questions. It's unfair, as we all know, this quiz. So this week, Jay will get 6 questions as Villa have won one more European Cup than Grimsby.
Close then.
Good stat.
How many auto windscreens?
You can have that, Steve.
That's brilliant.
That.
Yeah.
We got an Intertoto Cup, I think.
Please can I remind you, everything about this quiz is unfair. You get one joker you can use to answer a question. Today, the jokers are Robbie and Tubes. You can only use your joker once. Finally, at the end of the quiz, there'll be a penalty shootout. I'll explain what the penalty shootout is this week when we get to the end. You're both getting a much sought after bucket hat for taking part in this quiz. Are you excited about the bucket hat?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm all cheeks from a bucket hat, but it'll be fine.
Will you wear it when you DJ next to Isle of Wight?
Do you know what, Tubes? I will. Deal.
Thank you, mate.
Deal. I'll do that. Yeah.
Helen is keeping score. Her word is final. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, so we're starting with Jay, aren't we? Jay, I must say the first 3 questions, Jay and Steve, the first 3 questions were written by Helen Chamberlain here. Ooh. So they're Helen's questions. Okay. So don't have a go at me if you don't like them. Jay.
And also don't ask me, I can't joker. I can't be a joker.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Jay, Q is for QPR. According to Wikipedia, how many nicknames does QPR have? That's not an easy question, but it's a Helen question. It's not fair, but that's...
How many nicknames?
How many nicknames do you think? Go on.
I can think of like Hoops, Rangers. I don't know.
Go on, yeah, there's 2.
3. I'll go 3.
3. Well, sadly,
Best answer's final.
Thanks for that, Steve.
Cheers, Steve.
QPR have the nickname the R's, the Super Rangers, the Hoops, and the
Super Hoops.
The Super Hoops, yeah. So they're 4.
I'd have gone that.
QPR were founded in 1882 when they originally called Christchurch Rangers. They merged with St Jude's Institute in 1886 to become QPR. That doesn't make any sense. Why did they become Queen's Park Rangers? Anyway, let's move on.
I didn't write that bit.
Helen's second question is QPR Q for QPRII. This is going to be interesting. Which newsreader is a QPR fan? Is it A, Mary Nightingale, B, Naga Manchetti, or C, Clive Myrie? Which one of those? I mean, I really like this question, but you've got no chance of getting it, have you? Just got to guess. So is it A, Mary Nightingale, B, Naga Manchetti, or C, Clive Myrie?
I'll say Mary Nightingale's more of a queen, but I'll go C, Clive Myrie.
See, it's actually Mary Nightingale. Wow. After someone asked on Twitter which football team she supports, ITV news presenter Mary replied QPR. So I have very little to be happy about.
Well, just see her in the away end at Millwall, can't you?
Jay, Q, this is Helen's third question. I do think this is an absolutely brilliant question and possibly the best question of the quiz. Q is for queuing. David Beckham stood in the queue like a normal person to pay tribute to Her Majesty the Queen when she was lying in state. How many hours did David queue for? Was it A, 10 hours, B, 12 hours, or C, 14 hours?
Oh, I do sort of remember this, the sort of the media hype around it, because he did queue and others didn't. I'm going to go, do you know what? I'm going to go middle of the road. I'm going to go 12.
Correct. It was 12.
Well played.
He said, it's special to be here to celebrate and to hear the different stories that people had. There's Helen's questions. What would you mark Helen out of 10 for her questions, Steve?
Too many QPR questions, Helen. Sorry.
About that. It's quite difficult with Q.
Steve, I would not get this one, by the way. I wrote it, but I would not get this because it seems to have just slipped my memory completely. Q is for Qatar. Dodgy dealings led to FIFA awarding Qatar the 2020 World Cup, which was held in winter. Can you name 3 of the 4 semi-finalists? I couldn't do this, by the way. But can you?
Can't remember the winners.
I know, that's exactly.
How weird is that? I can't remember.
It's completely. You can't remember it because in the middle of the winter, it was a nothing, wasn't it? It was really strange. It was. I mean, we all watched it.
Yeah.
But I think you'll be shocked by one of the semi-finalists. Can you name 3 of them? I'll have a guess if you can't.
Now you've said that about the shock. Was one of them Morocco?
Yes, that's the one I would never have got in a million years. Yeah, 1.
France?
Yes, 2. You've just got to get 1 more.
It's
funny because it was an amazing match, wasn't it? If everyone remembers.
Yeah. Spain.
No, it's Argentina. They won it. They won it on
final.
Game.
Do you remember
France,
the final?
Argentina final. Yeah.
I don't blame you though.
Half a point.
No, you can't give Steve half
thanks,
a point.
Alan.
Oh, you were saying
Full point will do, Ellen.
But
It was the Emmy Martinez final, wasn't it?
It was amazing,
when he
wasn't it?
He started doing that with the trophy, didn't he?
Yeah.
I do remember.
It's all coming back now, but when you actually, it was.
Mbappe get a hat trick.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was just that amazing game where he scores a hat trick and doesn't win. Right, Jay.
Who was the other one?
Who was the other one? Oh yeah, Croatia. Croatia was the other one. Jay, Q is for quiet. Arsenal used to play at Highbury between 1913 and 2006. The stadium was nicknamed the Library by fans of other clubs with the accusation that it was quiet. Shh. They had 2 famous ends in the ground. One was called the North Bank. What was the other end called?
I was at the Emirates recently, and I'm pretty certain was it the Clock End?
That's correct. Yes, it was the Clock End.
Yeah.
What was it like at the Emirates? Did you like it there?
It's quiet. apart from the away, apart from the Villa end, obviously. But it's an impressive stadium, but atmosphere's not quite as it should, I don't think.
It was an impressive comeback from you boys as well, wasn't it?
It's brilliant, Tubes. Yeah, it was so good. Didn't see that coming at all. To be fair, they pretty much battered us, but to get that, come away with a 2-2 draw, I'll take that.
The clock end was named as such because the large clock on the stadium is symbolic significance in Arsenal's history and graced the club's former ground Highbury for more than 70 years. In 2010, a large replica of the iconic clock was installed at Emirates Stadium, with the original located outside the stadium. Tubes and I were just saying before we did this quiz, Villa Park is such a lovely stadium, isn't it? It's like, I remember going there with Chelsea. It was just
it's a proper
really
stadium,
lovely. Really lovely.
Yeah, I've got a season ticket in the Holt End, and it's you still get that buzz when you go up the steps into the stadium and you look out. It's superb.
Steve, you ever been to Villa Park?
No, I haven't. It's one of my needs to do. I'm up to 90 something grounds there.
You are?
Wow.
92.
Wow.
But that's including non-league because Grimsby like to tour the divisions.
Hey, Steve, have you got a favourite? I know it's a tough question because there's so many, but have you got a favourite? Have you got a stadium that you love going to?
I really liked when we was in the conference going to Alfreton. For some reason, it was one of those grounds that just always, every time you look for that fixture and just could go to that one. I don't know why, but proper ground wise,
proper ground.
I like Pride Park. We've had good results at Pride Park, Derby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably one of those that we like going to.
Yeah, but isn't that one of the stadiums which everyone's the same? They've done loads of them all the same. Anyway, let's move on.
Similar.
Steve, Q is for Queen. Annoyingly, in my humble opinion, Queen's We Are the Champions tune is played to fans when their teams win. How many times is the word champions mentioned in the song? Is it A12, B18, or C24? You can use a joker if you want. Not that I'm looking around at their faces at the moment. Or you could just try and sing it and work it out. How many times is the word champions mentioned? Whilst you'll work it out, I'm going to tell you that it was written by Freddie Mercury and it was built on audience response following a concert at Bingley Hall, Stafford, in which the audience sang You'll Never Walk Alone to the band. And then from there they thought, we want to do something like that, we want to get that going. And Brian May stated, we want to get the crowds waving and singing, and then they invented We Are the Champions. How many do you think it is? A12, B18 or C24?
Have you two had long enough to count yet?
Have you been trying to do it in your mind?
No, but I'm aware there's a lot of them.
I don't know how many verses there are.
That's the thing. It's kind of.
It's not the verses; it's the chorus you need.
Yeah, how many times does it go?
We champions, my friend. Just like
B.
You go what? B.
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 Sadly, it's A. It's 12.
Only 12.
There's 4 champions per chorus, and there's 3 choruses.
Wow.
I'd worked out that there were 4.
Yeah.
And it was just
it was actually easy to work out, but there you go.
Well, if you don't know how many verses there are, I'm definitely giving Steve half a point.
No, you can't keep on giving Steve half a point.
You said she's final. Is she final or not?
You said Helen's decision is final. Every week you say that, and every week I go, except it isn't.
Except
it's called the gritting gift.
You can't give half points. Right. Question 7. J. Q is for quads. Stuart Pearce had huge legs, which he used to play for 6 league clubs. Name 3 of them.
Good question.
I can think of 2.
Say them out loud then.
Third one, I'm wondering if I need to play my joker here. I don't know.
What are the
Forest.
first 2?
Forest.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Yeah.
Man City.
Yes. He also
He's in there somewhere.
He also played for Wealdstone. What did you say? Coventry? Did you say that? Cov? He played for Cov. He went Wealdstone, Cov, Forest, Newcastle, West Ham, City. There you go. He also managed Forest City, England under 21, Great Britain, England again, and Forest.
You know, when Stuart Pearce signed for Forest, he was still, I think he was working as an electrician, wasn't he? And he was advertising in the programme as an electrician, so you could hire him out. Imagine you could do that now.
That's amazing.
No, he was advertising so you could hire his family out.
No, I've interviewed him. He said he could.
No, I don't think so.
Was.
Is it not someone with the same name?
Stop.
He was definitely an electrician, and he was doing that. But I think he was kept the advertising. I think he wasn't going.
No, he was going, but then Clough made him stop.
No, yeah, but Cloughy made him fix his wife's toaster or something.
Kettle,
Anyway, kettle. Steve, you know, don't you?
Yeah, he made him do his kettle. Mark Crossley told the story, didn't he?
That's it. Mark Crossley said it on Under the Cosh or something, one of those ones. Right, Steve. Q is for Que Sera. Que Sera Sera is a famous song sung by fans when their clubs are on their way to Wembley. But what is the Spanish translation for Que Sera?
Joe speaks Spanish.
Hey. Here we go.
There we go. Don't you want to use one of your jokers? Maybe look at. Do you know, Robbie?
I've got an educated guess.
Do you want to try a joker?
Go on there, Robbie. Yeah, go on there, Robbie.
Is it whatever will be?
Well, it is sort of. It's Que Sera Sera. What will be. But Doris Day sung Whatever Will Be. I think we're going to give him a point. But if Joe was here, he'd be able to translate it exactly. Because he's not, and I'm not Spanish, I think we'll give you a point. Yeah. Que Sera Sera, whatever will be. But it's what will be. But I'm not sure whether you could use.
Will be.
Yeah, but Doris Day sings Whatever will be, doesn't she?
I'll check on Google Translate.
So she does it. But look, we'll give Steve. What do you think, Helen? Are your words final?
Whatever.
Yeah, let's give a point. So when we sing Que Sera Sera, whatever will be, are we actually singing what will be, whatever will be?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Doesn't really make much sense.
That's ridiculous.
Well, don't have a go at us. Have a go at Doris Day.
What will be,
okay.
will be.
Well, I don't think it's Doris Day's fault.
Who's won the? This is not a. This is just a random trivia question. Who has won the FA Cup more times than any other team?
Chelsea.
Nope.
No, Arsenal.
Man U?
Yeah, Arsenal 14.
Arsenal.
Yeah. J. Q is for quickest. Who is the quickest player in the Premier League? Is it A, Mickey van der Ven, B, Anthony Elanga, C, Anthony Robinson?
Kyle Walker used to be up there, didn't he? But
you'll never beat Kyle Walker. You'll never beat Kyle Walker.
I think it's now Des Walker, that was it. Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah. Mickey van der Ven, 37.
Quicker than he looks, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's rapid, isn't he? Once he gets going, he's ridiculous.
Yeah. 31.7 kilometres an hour. That's ridiculous. How many is that in miles per hour? A lot. Steve,
Enough.
Q is for quotes. Who said this? They say Rome wasn't built in a day, but I wasn't on that particular job. It is who you think it is. I'm going to give you a clue, Steve. I shouldn't be giving clues, really, but it's unfair. I'll give you a clue.
Was that the clue?
No, the clue was it is who you think it is.
Sorry. Brian Clough.
Yep, it was Brian Clough. J, Q is for qualify. 2 Premier League teams qualify for the Europa League. 1 spot goes to the highest placed finisher not in the Champions League. How does the other team qualify?
Isn't it through the FA Cup? Winning the FA Cup?
Yes, correct. Yeah. Wow, well done.
It was the old UEFA Cup, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yeah.
And then, Europa.
I feel sorry for Steve there because I don't think I gave you one football question, did I?
It's unfair, isn't it?
They're all about
unfair.
Yeah, they're all about music and and Spanish
translation.
Translation, yeah. I know Dos Cerveza, por favor.
Right, Helen, what are the scores on the doors?
Okay, Steve, the Grimsby fan, got 5 questions. He got 2.5 of them right. So
you got 2.5.
Shut your hole, Lovejoy. And JR Aston Villa fan, who had 6 questions, got 5 of them right. So it's 5 plays 2.5.
Wow.
And can I just say, Jay has not used his joker yet either, whereas Steve has.
He can't now, though, can he?
No, he can use it in the penalty shootout.
He can use it.
Yeah,
sure, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's got to use it.
Got to be quick, though. Got to be quick.
Does he have to say, how does it work in the penalty? Does he have to say Joker quickly?
Yeah, you'll have to say
Joker.
Yeah, you have to go. Well, no, you don't have to say Joker. You have to say Robbie or choose. How you feeling, Steve? Do you think you can do this? Can you pull it out of the hat?
The half could be critical.
All right, listen. I'm gonna read out. It's quite a long penalty shootout to start with. Question to start with, and then you're going to take it in turns to name the subject. As we know, Jay, you still have your joker, so you can either shout Robbie or Tubes, and they can help you if you run out of ideas. Okay, so today's penalty shootout subject is: every Premier League ground is full with the lowest percentage of capacity at Southampton, and that is still 96.2%, which is pretty good going. This means there's queues in every stadium. Name Premier League stadiums, starting with Jay. Go.
Villa Park.
Steve?
Vitality Stadium.
Keep going.
St Mary's Stadium.
Yep.
Stamford Bridge.
Yes, home of football. Jay?
Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
Old Trafford.
Yes.
Goodison Park.
Yep.
City Ground.
Yep. They could do it all, aren't they?
Molineux.
Yes, good. Steve?
St James Park.
Oh, come on, yes.
Selhurst Park.
Yep. Steve? He's run out! No, Steve! You've taken too long! Oh no! What he had left? He had Craven Cottage. Oh, sorry. Let's carry on. Carry on. How many more?
Craven Cottage.
Jay.
Cottage.
Jay. Craven Cottage.
Emirates.
Yep.
Old Trafford.
Done.
No, it's been done. There
How's
you
it
go.
done?
What haven't they done? They haven't done
Etihad.
the G-Tech Community Stadium.
London Stadium.
Did someone say the Amex? I don't think they did,
No,
did they?
no one said that.
Portman Road, King Power, Etihad, you just said, and there's one other.
London Stadium.
London Stadium and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. Helen, what were the scores, please?
Steve scored 5 in the penalty shootout. Adding that to his 2.5 from the quiz, he has a total of 7.5 points. Now, Jay got 7 in the penalty shootout, although one would... Actually, I'm going to knock one off because Craven Cottage was... Tim said that, so...
Do I get a half, Helen?
You don't get half.
Give him a
Jay
point
scored
5.
6 in the penalty shootout. Adding that to his 5 from the quiz gives him a total of 11 points. Jay is the winner.
Jay, well done, Jay.
Thank you very much,
I
guys.
do think that was the most unfair quiz we've had
Very
so
unfair,
far.
but that is
Definitely.
football.
I was quite proud of that. I think, Steve, you got some rascal questions there. If you are listening to this and not watching it, try and get some sort of video because you've got to see Steve's top because it is quite sensational.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What is that? Is that an away kit? Did that?
No, it's a training top remake of the '93 away shirt.
Great.
Kind of a mismatch.
It's sort of yellow, red, and black, and it's great, isn't
Like
it?
a goalkeeper's top.
It
Isn't
is. It's wonderful.
Umbro sponsor as
Well done, though, Jay. You did brilliantly. Thank you very much for joining us, both of you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Been,
Thanks
it's
for
been
having us.
amazing. Brilliant.
Cheers,
Thank you.
guys.
Cheers,
Thank you.
guys. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
When the game gets it right, it's pure delight. This is what's right with
What's right with football? Stephen Rankin says goalkeepers sprinting the length of the pitch to celebrate a goal. You cannot beat it.
Perfect. Yep.
Very right.
Hansi, this is just a bit rinsy. Hansi says in one of Manchester United's worst periods in history, they've still won more than Arsenal and Spurs.
I like the pettiness of that. That's good. Yeah.
I do,
Yeah.
just getting it in there.
Yeah.
Rubinho says Liam Palmer, one-man club, 17 plus years at Sheffield Wednesday.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's impressive.
Leachy, headers on the floor. Yes, Leachy. And we saw one this week, didn't we, in the FA Cup, the Millwall goal, Ivanovic, with his, and it was, he looked up and within that split second, he thought, I'm just going to nut this in from the floor. And I said,
Got a lot of power on it as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
John Terry used to defend sometimes by throwing his head at the board.
Do you remember in the cup final, Arsenal? He got booted in the face.
Did he?
Yeah, at the Millennium Stadium. He got rushed to hospital.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Gosh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Got booted
Yeah,
straight
God, I've forgotten
in the
that.
face.
Yeah.
Proper.
That's what's right with football.
Okay, we've done far too much football talk. Let's have a question about anything but football.
You've had your footy fix, now it's time to switch. It's anything but football. No, not football.
Okay, Shan Vizram says, which reality show would you guys most like to go on? Okay. Who wants to start? Shall I
I'll
start?
because I keep getting pestered by my mother and my girlfriend.
Strictly.
They desperately want me to go on Strictly Come Dancing.
But you need to...
Plus, one, I'm not famous enough to go on it.
Yeah, it's a tough show to get
Two,
on.
I can't dance, but they keep going on and on and on and on.
But how do they think you're going to get on it? Because it's like I'm not being disrespectful, but you're an online star, aren't you?
I wouldn't even say I'm a star.
And everybody's trying to get on that show. Like they're queuing
I have
up.
told them this, but Amy keeps going. Have you asked? I'm like,
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Well, there we
Who
go
would you
then.
ask though? You just
If you do ask, in that case, you don't get either.
yeah.
I think I might have the number of the booker. I could give you your number if you want. Do you want me to have a chat with her?
Nah, you're all good.
What about you, Helen?
Strictly.
Yeah, I don't know. Back in the day, Big Brother intrigued me because Tim, you and I used to be guests on Big Brother's Big Mouth or Big Brother's Little Brother, and we did what they called the rat run. If you're quiet, you're allowed to go. There's like a double skin, isn't there? You've got where the Big Brother house is, and then there's a track with all the cameramen around the outside. It's a semicircle, and if you're quiet, you can go and walk that, so you get to see them in the house. It is like observing creatures in a zoo through the smoked glass. And I always, just as a psychological, because I know they used to they kept them cold. If you keep people cold and hungry, they start arguing. I was always fascinated with the concept of, because I think everybody went in with the game plan of, I'm just going to be a really nice person and then I'll win it. And then of course you can't, human beings, you can't keep that up. So I'd just be intrigued, I think, with the whole psychology of still realizing it was a TV show and what producers were trying to do to you, as opposed to just being stuck in the house.
It's that classic thing of when you look through that rat run thing, that the studio was a lot smaller, wasn't it, than
Tiny.
it looks on TV.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that the producers changed. When we went to see it, it was right at the beginning. That's what they were trying to do, is get people to argue with each other. Latterly, they wanted everyone to be friends. They completely changed what they wanted to do, because they realised that it was going way too far. Everyone hated each other, and there was too many people getting sort of cancelled when they left, and that was a time before being cancelled. So they sort of changed it. Robbie, the reality show that I want to do, and I think you might agree with this, I would want to have done, and I talked to them for a long time about doing it, was The Jump, because it was the one set in the snow.
Yeah, I'd get injured. No, I'm not doing that.
What? Yeah, but you love skiing and stuff.
Yeah, I like skiing on the ground. I don't like skiing in the air.
Yeah, but you only do the jump if you lose, don't you? But anyway, it's like the jump
I
was.
won't lose.
The jump was. I would have loved to have done that. I think that because you get to mess about in the snow. I talked to them for so long about doing it, but I think in the end it was I had to take 4 weeks off Sunday brunch, and I love Joe's not here, so I don't have to explain what Sunday brunch is. but because I love doing Sunday brunch, I didn't want to take time off to do a reality show, because I really like my job. So. Yeah, there you go. But I think that would have been fun. Have you got a reality show you'd like to do them?
Do any of the ones where you got to be mean to someone?
No, of course not.
Like, you know that thing we have to, where they go, you get Big Brother, you get the diary, and they say you got to come out and kick someone in the face, you don't get any food.
I agree.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I don't want to have to go anywhere. I don't have
All
to go to
reality
Australia.
shows are that now, though, aren't they?
No, I'll do a cooking one.
We will
Do one of
reward
the cooking
you
ones.
if you're mean to everybody. That's what they are.
I want something where I'm not going to let anyone else down. I just want to let myself down. So a cooking one.
MasterChef.
Yeah,
I did
maybe
that.
the baking.
I did Celebrity MasterChef. Got lobbed out.
Yeah.
Lobbed out.
Yeah, I didn't.
How far did you get though? I think
No,
I
I
saw
did-
the first one where
I did
they
a few weeks.
gave you. Yeah,
Yeah,
they gave you
they-
ingredients and you had to guess what to do with them,
I
and
did-
you didn't soak your lentils or something.
dunno,
You
I
just
did a
poured
few-
them in the dish. don't know.
I did a few weeks, and then I realised that they were taking it really seriously. People come in hand making pasta and stuff. I was like, hold on a second, and I just didn't go to the levels everybody else went to, and give fair play, they lobbed me out. I mean, they made a mistake because I'm TV gold. However, sorry, why are you laughing?
That's why no one's ever heard of that show anymore.
Right, that's the end of this week's show. We'll be back on Tuesday. Q, what comes after Q? We'll be back
Robbie.
with the R's. See you then. Bye.
See ya.